afternoon. Welcome to Debbie's Back Porch. So glad to have you with us again. Well, as you see, I have out my trusty Wagner cast iron skillet, and I'm gonna use up some Christmas leftovers. I know leftovers are one of the most troublesome and one of the most wonderful results of our holidays. And I cooked a ham, and I just have way too much ham, but luckily one of our favorite casserole dishes is cheesy ham and potato casserole. So I'm gonna fix that for you tonight, and it's a very quick and easy make, so we should just whip right on through that. Be right back. You know, one of the best things about leftover casseroles is that they can vary depending on how much of what you have left over. And so the quantities of ingredients that I give you here are pretty flexible. I just know that I've got an 8-cup pan. So within that 8-cup pan, I'm gonna fill it up with some good stuff, leftovers and not leftover. I have there 1.5 cups of chopped ham. I have there 2 pre-cooked potatoes, meaning they were cooked whole, and then after they cooled off, I peeled them and chopped them up. I have a 1/2 cup of cornstarch back there. I have 1 cup of grated cheddar cheese, yellow cheddar, and 2 cups of grated white Vermont cheddar, which is sharp. I have a small onion, 2 cups of milk, a little salt, and I have a couple of herbs back there that I may add as we go. And this is a simple dish, one dish. We'll start. You may hear a saw going every once in a while. Fred is outside building garden beds because every winter he has to build new garden beds. So if you hear a saw on and off, then that's what it is. I have here a melted stick of butter, and I'm going to put my 1 small onion. It's not as finely chopped as I usually make it, and I'm not making a mirepoix. I'm just pre-cooking the onions, getting them a little tasty. Whoops, there's a little tiny piece of onion peel. Let me get that off. Now I'm going to make a white sauce here, a bechamel sauce, which normally I wouldn't make in a regular cast iron. But this is a casserole and it's going to have ham in it, and I'm not going to worry too much about if the color darkens a little. But normally if you're making a bechamel sauce, you want to use something non-reactive. I usually use enameled cast iron. You can use stainless steel. So we're going to let that sizzle for a minute, and then we'll take our next step. Well, we're getting a little sizzle, and you can start to smell the wonderful onion smell. And that's the reason you cook them a little ahead of time. Onions just actually have a deeper, richer flavor if you saute them in butter or lard or even oil before you start cooking, and rather than if you just add them raw. So I generally do something with onions before I put them in. So there we go. Those are sizzled and turning translucent. I have here 1/2 cup of cornstarch. You can use flour. Doesn't matter. If you have self-rising flour, you want to allow for the fact that it already has salt. So we're making a roux in with our onions. And we're going to let that sizzle again to cook off any pasty flavor that you get from the cornstarch or the flour that you're using. Okay, so we're letting our roux cook a little to cook off the pasty flavor. Now I have here 2 cups of half and half. Let's add about a teaspoonful of salt. Some black pepper. Now this is going to be a very thick sauce. Now I have to go back and make an amendment. I left one ingredient out. I have a cup of chicken broth here. So I've stirred this. I've got no lumps. I'm going to add this chicken broth. And I'm not going to wait for it to thicken up anymore, because it's going to cook 30 minutes in the oven. I have my oven preheating. So I'm going to fold in. This is my 2 cups of grated white Vermont cheddar. And I want this to melt as it heats up. You can use any kind of cheese you like. I've used many different kinds. What I'm using now is a mixture of the white cheddar that's pretty sharp. And I also have a cup of a mild cheddar over here. You can use mozzarella. You could add a little Parmesan in there. You can basically use, I love the queso blanco, whatever cheese you like will work. Okay, it's melting and we're getting some thickening. So we're going to add our ham. This is 1.5 cups of ham. And our pre-cooked, chopped, chunked, however you want them. They can be sliced. And we're going to fold them in. So stir that cheese around. Spread out your potatoes. Now, notice I haven't let this get thickened yet. It's just the sauce itself is just barely cooked. I'm turning it off. I'm sprinkling the top with the rest of the cheese. And I picked a yellow cheese because of how it looks. I like the white cheese inside and the yellow cheese on top, but you know, that's all just personal. This is another one of those. Now be sure you put this on a cookie sheet, because this is gonna bubble up, thicken up. Make a mess in your oven. I have my oven heated to 350. I'm going to cook this for 30 minutes at 350 uncovered. And then I'm going to look at it because I may want to let it brown just a little bit more than that, but 350 will, for 30 minutes should be enough. We'll come back. Well, here we have it after 30 minutes. That is bubbly and cheesy, and it's going to taste so good. And we'll plate this up for you and show you what we've got. Be right back. Well, I decided I wanted to let you see me plate it up so you can see the texture. This is so cheesy and creamy. And this is a one-dish meal. You can have a little salad with it if you like. But it's good to go just as it is. Be right back. Well, leftovers probably never looked that good before, to me. That's cheesy ham and potato bake, made mostly from leftovers, but oh, it's so divine. Let me take a bite. That's creamy, and it's a thick sauce that we've made here. I really think you'll enjoy it. I hope you give it a try. Thank you for joining us on Debbie's Back Porch. See you again tomorrow.